Hello developers, welcome again to the programming fields. Today I am back with the part 2 video in the Livewire 3 CRUD series in Laravel 11. In the previous video, we did a project setup in Laravel 11 with Livewire 3. Thereafter, we created two components, one for the post form. From here, we can create the blog post with the featured image and another for the post listing. Alright. So in the post listing, we have displayed the featured image, title, content and the dates. Lastly, we have the actions field. Here we have the edit and delete option. Now as per our demo application, today I will implement the pagination in this post listing. Furthermore, I will implement the view functionality. So by clicking on this featured image or title, this will redirect you to the post view page. Alright. So let's continue to the implementation of this functionality. So let's navigate to the VS Code editor. And here I will add the today's outline. So today, firstly, I will implement the pagination in the post listing. Next, I will implement the post view functionality. Alright. So let's continue to this pagination. In order to implement the pagination, firstly, we will have to create some more post here. Alright, so let me quickly create this post. Okay, so here I have quickly created 13 blog posts. If I will scroll down, then we can see we have total 13 posts. When these blog posts will be increasing, this will have a problem of scrolling because in the single page, we cannot display all blog posts. That will increase the scrollable length here. So every time you will have to scroll down. So what I will do, I will implement the pagination. So our blog posts will be divided into the chunks. Alright. So in Livewire, we can implement the pagination in very simple way. Livewire provides one trait to implement the pagination, and this will be similar to our file upload traits. So if you will navigate to the official documentation of Livewire 3, and here let's scroll down. There you have the pagination feature. Let's click on this, and firstly we'll have to implement this Livewire with pagination trait. So let's import this. So we will have to come inside this post list component. Here in the mount method, we were fetching all the blog posts. So before implementing this pagination, let's import that trait. So we'll write use Livewire with pagination. Now we will have to invoke this here. So we'll write use with pagination. Now in order to work with the pagination, we will have to avoid this public property because Livewire pagination will not work with the public property. That means here we have assigned all the blog posts in this public post variable. So if we'll try to implement this, then this will throw error. Alright. We had initialized this post variable with the public access specifier. So this public property will not have the access of this pagination. So what we will have to do, we will have to remove this public $post variable. This is not required now. And here instead of this mount, what I will do, I will cut this post all and that I will add it here. So here I will initialize one variable as $posts and I will fetch all the blog posts here and I will remove this mount method. Alright, and instead of all, I will call paginate. Let's suppose I want to display blog posts in the chunks of 5. Okay, and here inside this view, we will have to pass this $post variable in the form of compact or in the form of array. So I will pass in the form of compact. Thereafter, inside this post list view, I will add links. So after this table, here I will add $posts links. Okay, let's save it. Let's come to the browser. Let's refresh now. Yes, we can see we have the pagination applied. So this is the default pagination interface of Livewire 3, and this has been created using the Tailwind CSS. But now we need this kind of numeric interface, and here this will be provided using the Bootstrap. So we will have to change this layout in the Livewire configuration. So let's come to the code editor first, and inside this config, if you will see, we don't have the Livewire configuration related file. So we will have to generate that Livewire configuration. So for that, let's come to the terminal, and here we will have to run command as php artisan livewire : publish. Let's hit enter. Yes, you can see Livewire configuration has been published here. So inside this config folder, now you will have the livewire.php. Now inside this livewire.php configuration, if you will scroll down, you will have this pagination theme. So by default, this has set to Tailwind. We can change this to Bootstrap. Okay, this is done. Let's come to the browser again. Let's refresh our application. Yes, you can see we have the Bootstrap pagination theme now. Now if we'll click on the next page, we can see our page is not refreshing, and we are easily able to navigate to the multiple pages. Now if you will notice in the URL, by clicking on the next page, we are getting the page number. But if we'll check in our demo application, if I will click on the next page, URL is not changing. So Livewire pagination provides one more trait. So if we'll come to the documentation again, if you will scroll down, here you have the disabling URL query string tracking. So Livewire provides the flexibility to remove the query string from the URL. So currently we can see on every navigation of the page, this is appending the query string in the URL. So by adding that trait, we can remove that. So we will have to include this without URL pagination. So let's import this trait again. So inside this post list, let's import use Livewire without URL pagination, and next we will have to invoke it here. Let's save it. Let's come to the browser again. Let's refresh our application, and this time I will start from this posts. Let's hit enter. Yes, and now let's try to click on the next page. You can see the query string has been removed, and now your URL is fresh and cleaned up. Alright, now let's come to the demo application, and we can see we have the padding added here inside this card. So let's add this. So let's come to the code editor. Inside this post list view, if you'll scroll up, so we have added this table inside the card directly. So what I will do, I will add one more class inside this table responsive as card body, and also I will add margin top of 4. So this card body will have some default padding. Let's come to the browser. Let's refresh now. Yes, we can see we have the similar layout now. Now regarding this pagination, we will have to keep it inside this card body. So let's come to the code editor again. So I will move this line inside this card body. Okay. So now we have pagination inside this card body. So that will have the default padding as well. Let's check it. Yes, we can see we have the padding here inside this pagination. So this is done. Now in the next step, we will have to implement this post view functionality, and also we will have to reduce this featured image size. If we will compare it, we can see we have the featured image larger than the demo application. So let's check this. So inside this post list, we have the width as 200 px. Let's reduce this to 150 px. This is done. Let's refresh now. Yes. Now let's implement this post view functionality. So in order to display this post, let's add the hyperlink here in the post title and in this featured image. So here, let me dock this. I will add hyperlink, and I will set the route as posts.view, and also we need to pass the post ID. So we have the $post, and I will pass that ID here. This is done, and we will have to close this hyperlink after this image. Same thing we will have to add it here inside this post title. Okay. Now respective to this, we will have to define this route in the web.php. So let's duplicate this route and I will define posts view, and here we will have to capture that ID. So I will capture that ID here. Okay. And let me change this name to posts.view. This is done, and this will call the same post form component. So let's come inside this post form class, and here after this validation thing, I will define the Livewire lifecycle method mount. So here in the Livewire lifecycle mount method, we will capture that post ID. So let's define this function, public function mount, and here I will define $id, and let's add dump and die $id. And inside this post listing blade, for this hyperlink, we will have to use the Livewire navigate directive. So I will write wire colon navigate, and same thing I will have to add it for title. Okay, this is done. Now let's come back to this post form class, and we already added this dump and die here. Let's come to the browser again. Let's refresh. Yes, we have the navigation link, and here on this featured image as well. Let's click on this. We can see we are navigating to this post/view route, and we are getting that post ID. Let's come back and let's try to click on the other post. Yes. All right. Okay. So now based on this ID, we will have to fetch the blog post. So what I will do, I will use the route model binding here instead of this ID. So Laravel provides route model binding in the function. So here based on the model, we can fetch the blog post of the given ID. So I will create this instance as $post, and we already imported this post model here. All right. Now instead of this $id, I will dump and die $post, and also we will have to update the route. So if we'll come to the web.php, here we have passed ID. So instead of this, we will have to bind the post here. Let's save it. Let's come to the browser. Now let's refresh it. Yes, we can see we are getting the post data from the post table based on the given ID. Let's check for the other post. If I will click on the second one, yes, we are getting that blog post. Now we will have to add the condition if this route is view. So based on this view route, we will have to disable our form and we will make that as a view mode. So let's add this condition. So inside this post form class, I will check if route is view. So I will add dump and die request route is post.view. This will return true and false. Okay, let's check it. Yes, we can see this is returning true for the post.view. We have to check the condition, and based on this, we will have to set the view to true. So if I will scroll up, here I will define one variable as public $is view, and by default I will initialize this with false. Okay, and here on the mount, when this route is post.view, this will be set to true. So I will assign this as $this is view. So when the post is opened in the view mode, that means when the post link or featured image has been clicked, that will redirect to this post.view route, and here in the post form we have captured that and we have set this to true. Okay, this is done, and thereafter we will have to assign this post in the public property, title and content, because we already bound this property in the post form. So if we will check the post form, here for the post title, we used this wire model directive and we bound this title attribute with this public title. Same thing for this content. Here for this content, we already bound this with public content variable. So what I will do from here, I will directly assign this post data with these public properties so that this will automatically capture the data in the post form. Okay, let's do this. Firstly, I will check if we have the $post ID. That means if we have the post data. Okay. Then I will assign the post title in the $this title. So I will use $post title. Same thing, I will have to do it for the content. So for the content, we have the public property $content. Yes, this is done. Now regarding featured image, we will fetch this from the $post directly to the view, so that we no need to assign it in the featured image variable, because in this featured image we need the file object instead of the file path. So this is fine. So here in the mount method, firstly we check if the route is post.view, and then I have added one if condition. If we have the post ID, means if we have the post data belonging to the given ID, then I have assigned the post title and content to these public properties. Let's save it and come to the browser again. Let's refresh now. Yes, we can see this landed on the post form and the data has been rendered in this post form. Now based on the view condition, we have to update the post form. Firstly, we will have to change this title and we have to make disable to this form, and also we will have to hide this submit button. So let's implement this. So inside this post form view, firstly we will check if we are getting each view variable data. So here I will add dump and die $is view. Let's refresh now. Yes, we are getting true. So based on this, we can add condition. So firstly, let's update this title. So what I will do, I will check one condition, if is view, then this will be changed to view. All right, else this will be for create as of now. Regarding the edit part, we will come to that later. Now let's scroll to the form, and here we have the post title input. So let's add condition, if is view, then this will be disabled, else it will be enabled. Let's copy this condition and let's add it for post content. This is fine. Now let's scroll down, and regarding this post featured image, actually we don't need this in the post view. So here I will add one condition, if not $is view. Okay, and I will wrap it here in this if block. And also for this entire card footer, because in the card footer we have the submit button, so this card footer is not needed in the view mode. So I will add the same if condition for this card footer block. Okay, this is done. Let's save and come to the browser. Let's refresh now. Yes, here we have the view mode of this blog post. We have the title and content. Now regarding the featured image, we will have to display that in the image tag. So let's add that. So here I will display that in the image src tag, and better I can wrap it inside one div, and I will set margin of 2, view featured image. Okay, and here in order to fetch the featured image, what I will do, I will come to this post form first, and I will define one more public property. So I will set public $post, and by default this will be null. And what I will do, if we have the post ID, I will assign this $post to public $post variable. So I will write $this post equals $post. Okay, so now based on the ID, we will have the single post detail, and that entire post detail will be assigned this to $this post. Now here inside this post form, I will add one condition, if we have the post, then here I will fetch that featured image. So in the image src tag, I will use a storage URL function, and inside this storage URL, I will pass $post featured image. All right. And also we will pass bootstrap class image float, and we will have to specify the width here. So I will set width as, let's suppose, 250 px. This is done. Let's save. Let's come to the browser again. Let's refresh now. Yes, we can see we are getting this featured image now. Let's compare with the demo. We will have to add one label as uploaded featured image. Okay, so let's add that. Inside this div class, I will add one label as uploaded featured image. Let's refresh now, and we will have to keep that label outside that div. So let's move it up. Okay, this is done. Let's check now. Yes, this is fine. And we need some more spacing here from the top. So what I will do, I will add margin bottom of 4 here in this post content. Let's refresh now. Yes, this is fine. Now if we click on back to posts, yes, again we landed on the post listing. Now in the post listing, we will have to remove the text underline here. So for this, I will use the bootstrap class itself. So let's add this inside this post list. For the title, I will use one class as text decoration none. Okay, let's refresh. Yes, that underline has gone now. This is fine. Now let's click on the post featured image. Yes, again we have landed on the same page. Okay, so this is done. Now in the next episode, we will implement the edit and delete functionality. So stay tuned with Programming Fields, and if you have not subscribed at the Programming Fields, then please subscribe it and like the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.